Again, I must let you know categorically, I agree very little with Liz Cheney. I must admit as well that Liz Cheney is a patriot. For her to move from her positions to support a Democrat who, in many instances, have positions that are diametrically different than hers, it takes courage. It takes a person with character to do. And today she did something even more important as she was being interviewed by Jake Tapper on CNN. I want you to listen to this. It's about a woman's reproductive rights, Texas, and more. There is much more to this statement that will definitely give women, Republican women, conservative women, the ability to think straight, even with the anti-abortion position that they hold. I want you to, the anti-choice position that they hold. I want you to take a look at it and watch and listen to how she answers the question from Jake Tapper.
You mentioned how you certainly don't agree with Kamala Harris on every issue, or even most issues, in terms of the traditional political debates of domestic politics. Let's talk about abortion, which is a big issue in this race. You are against abortion. You're pro-life. You supported Roe v. Wade being overturned in 2022. Last week at an event with Kamala Harris, you said you were deeply troubled by what you've watched happen in many Republican-led states since the Dobbs decision in terms of the bans that the legislatures have put into place. Can you explain your view on this further?
Yeah. And what I would say is I'm not the only one who holds this view, but I think that, and I certainly have talked to many of them, you have pro-life women all across this country who have been watching what's happened in places like Texas, in places like North Carolina, where since Roe was overturned, you've had laws put in place at the state level that are preventing women from getting life-saving care. You have circumstances where, women are faced with, whatever sorts of emergency care it might be, whether it's miscarriages and they require treatment, that aren't able to get that treatment, where you have doctors unsure of whether or not the kind of care that the woman needs may in fact be something that's been criminalized by state law. And that's not acceptable. And I think that's where you have women who, like me, have been pro-life, who are saying, no, what we have seen happen cannot stand. When you have the Attorney General of the state of Texas suing to get access to the medical records of, women who have sought abortions, but Donald Trump won't give us access to his own medical records. I mean, this is we've crossed over into a situation that is bringing women together, uniting women who are pro-choice and pro-life behind Vice President Harris, in defense of making sure that women have health care, life-saving health care that they need, so that they don't find themselves in a situation where either their own life is at risk or they can't have babies in the future. This is just simply unsustainable.
Now, look, Liz Cheney didn't say I was wrong about the way I addressed the pro-life issue. I was wrong with wanting the abortion, the Roe versus Wade overturn. She didn't say any of that, nor did she need to say any of that. Because, when you're dealing with people that simply think ideology, talking points, etc., it's very hard to get somewhere. But when you talk about something affecting the livelihood of somebody, when you talk about something affecting the life of somebody, when you talk about a woman being injured by policy, when you talk about a mother dying by policy, at that point in time, talking ideological rigidness makes you, for the lack of a better word, a supporting killer. And that is what most people aren't. So when Liz Cheney answered the question the way she did, she showed that she was able to separate humanity from her ideology. An ideology that I think many a times lack humanity. But when presented with the actual result of said ideology, it then immediately gave her pause. Some people don't want to be, should I call it, forgiven, or don't want to give a break or a second chance, or however you want to define it. I don't think she would define it as second chance. She would define it as, I want to tweak a policy that's best for America. That's how she would put it. But we, those of us that are progressive, that understood the reproductive rights issue, have always known the consequences of getting rid of Roe v. Wade. We've always known the consequences of taking away someone's agency to their bodies. We knew that many on the right haven't. Well, that is something that only dialogue and the acceptance of reality can solve. And that's the reason why I say all of the times, we always have to talk. And by the way, man, I'm the author of the book, It's Worth It, How to Talk to Your Right-Wing Relative Friends and Neighbors. And if you're doing that, you can get results like what you've just heard. But make no mistake, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of people with courage. And one of the things that I love with many of the Republicans, even some MAGA coming over, many of those that we call right-wingers, what they're doing is finally going against that carnality that in the past would prevent them from doing what they were absolutely sure is right. And when a Liz Cheney, somebody that I disagree with, when a Kinzinger, somebody that I disagree with, when a Dick Cheney, somebody I vastly disagree with, some of these Republicans, mayors of towns, etc., when they are willing to make that change, then you know things are that bad. Donald Trump is that bad that even above and beyond that ideological tick, you say, no más, no lo podemos hacer, no podemos votar por ese tipo. We simply cannot vote for that guy.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number one, subscribe to our channel. And number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.